contractors, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
By River City Sports. The best camper is one you can use year-round. Check out Ice Castle at River City Sports.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Tonight, cloudy, breezy, a snow shower, low 23. Clouds and sunshine around for Wednesday, the high 33. Tomorrow night, cloudy, low 28. Windy on Thursday. Winds can gust past 45 miles per hour at times. A bit of snow up to an inch can accumulate with a high Thursday 42. And clouds and sunshine colder Friday with a high just 18. Download the AccuWeather app today. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Andy Robb.
Rising barometer 29.94, dew point at 35 degrees, humidity at 76%. Northwest wind at 19, gusting to 35. Partly cloudy and 42 in Bismarck, Mandan, feels like 26 degrees.
This is the KFYR Cafe on the legendary voice of the Northern Plains. KFYR 550, 99.7 and iHeartRadio.
Chair, pour a cup of truth. Daryl's got the mic and he's speaking to you. Out on the airways where the stories unfold. He's calling out the liars, he's striking them bold. At the KFYR Cafe where the coffee's hot, dials digging deep, giving all he's got. Crooked suits can't hide, he'll make them pay. Justice is brewing at the KFYR Cafe.
KFYR radio time is 4:09 p.m. Central Time. Thank you very much for joining us for the KFYR Cafe. This hour is your North Dakota outdoors, or as Daryl would also likes to say, or whatever else, or whatever the heck else you want to talk about. And of course, as you know, Daryl is he's still on vacation, but we are privileged to have joining us this afternoon Clayton Pederson from Guns in the 701. Good afternoon, Clay.
Well, good afternoon. Glad to be back again today.
We appreciate your time. Thank you very much. So we appreciate your time and your help, and so everything.
Oh, no problem. I enjoy doing it,
and your knowledge, all the knowledge that you're going to pass on to all of our. All of our listeners today.
Sometime. I think Daryl's down. I think he was doing a Farm Bureau thing still. I think at the AFB deal, but that's okay. I saw some pictures online, so good for him.
Some pictures online.
He'll be back.
I'm not on Facebook that much, so I haven't seen any. So I haven't seen nothing.
I'm not on that much, but I do get on there once in a while. But yeah, I think I got a good show. I got Dusty Backer. He's going to be joining us. The quick thing I want to mention is January 17th, 2026. Of course, Carson, North Dakota, the Grant County Fair Board will be doing their big buck contest. So, hey, if you got some big bucks this year and you want to brag, maybe have a little fun, it's $10 for an adult, 12 and under get under free. And that's going to be Hammered Down Bar between 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time right there in downtown Carson. You can't miss it. You roll down the highway, turn on the main street, you'll find it because it'll be the only place where there'll be a bunch of vehicles. So just stop in there. They're going to have a pork loin meal, and just it's going to be a good time. You're not going to want to miss that. Again, January 17th, 2026, between 3 and 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
And where is that again?
Carson, North Dakota, at the Hammer Down Bar.
Carson, North Dakota, and that was what time?
3 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So,
or as you know, Daryl likes to put it rattlesnake time.
Well,
for some reason he likes. I don't know why he likes to call it rattlesnake time.
We call it real time. Okay. We call it the real time. So, yeah.
Have you told Daryl that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I got to harass Daryl. You know how that goes. Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, right here, Guns in 701, we're on every Wednesday night. We are the Guns in 701 Network now. Check us out, gunsin701.com. We have all the new shows. We got 4 shows we're going to do. And one of the guys is going to be joining us at the bottom of the hour who's going to have 701 Marksman. He's also the owner of now I'm slipping by my 1760 Sports LLC. But David Fettick, he's got a great business there, and he's going to have a great show. So you're going to tune into that. Blackbeard Logic, Sunday Sportsman's Devotion. That's the one's actually been growing quite a bit. And if you're not listening on air, you can always find us on all of our platforms across the social media networks as well. So, all right. With that, if Dusty's here, let's bring Dusty on. How you doing, Dusty?
Hey, good. How are you two? I feel pretty honored to be invited on your guys' show.
Wow, it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I mean, come on. Dusty Backer with Backer Bees. He's a patriot. He's a freedom-loving American. And, of course, we love our wildlife. Regardless of what some people say, we do have differences with some particular people and places. But trust me, we do love our wildlife and love to get out there and enjoy the outdoors, don't we?
That's right. Yep. Just it never gets old. So
quickly, I don't know if anyone's ever done this. Let's give you an opportunity, Dusty. Tell me what you do in the bee world.
Me and my wife, we've been beekeepers for about 20 years. And so basically we pollinate almonds in California and run for honey production in North Dakota in the fall. And got some travel in there in between, but that's basically our process.
So you're about ready. Are you out in California now, or are you about ready to head out there with the bees?
No, another week to 10 days. Head out to check the bees. Yep, and get them all put in the almonds, and come back home and still enjoy this nice winter too.
Well, you and I have had some very long conversations, really, about bees, bee production, and how important it is actually to wildlife as well. You want to touch on that just quickly?
Yeah. So I know the big thing North Dakota's talking about, we hear about habitat, which is great. That's one part of maintaining the wildlife and the ecosystem, but like pollinator blends are huge along with that habitat. For instance, brings in lots of bees, brings in more vegetation, pollinator blends bring in bugs for the birds, the other animals. I mean, everything it really brings the ecosystem together.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And bees are just a part of that, so very important.
Well, that's kind of what you and I were talking about, and why I'm doing what I'm going to be doing here. And it's for a lot of reasons. I love honey. I got bees on my place as well. Going to actually be putting in another place for them. I'm going to be planting a little sandfoins, wildlife mix in there, wildflower mix, and of course, you and I have talked a lot about some of the things I'm doing on my place, and it's for those reasons. Bring that soil health back. Bring the bugs back, bring everything back, because it's a big circle of life, isn't it?
It really is, and you're onto something great there, Clay. And we just need to reach out to more landowners, more sportsmen. No matter if you're a landowner or not, we need to unite. And what you got going on with, like you said, the soil health to pollinators to, switchgrass to trees, the vegetation, we need to come up with something to feed the deer in the harsh winters. Now, this winter's been fantastic for them, but It all just helps keep our wildlife. And once you start doing that, you're just going to see it, make leaps and bounds. On our own property, we spend a lot of our own money planting trees and switchgrass and got native vegetation. It went from a ghost town, not a bird, not a deer, to, I bet the second year we have 50 to 100 pheasants on that place, lots of deer. We got a nice mule deer buck off of a 5-6-year-old buck. The second year, the switchgrass was in there with some pollinators, vegetation, and trees. So, it just takes a little bit of time and work and everybody working together. And
absolutely.
We can get our life back.
Yep. I think James has a question for you.
Yeah, I got about transporting the bees out to your bees out to California. So how you got a truck? You got a truck, or you transport them by, or how's that done?
So we hire owner operators with semi trucks. 48 to 52 foot flatbeds, and we just use our forklifts, set the bees on the semis, and then we throw a net over top of them so the air can get through so they don't overheat. And they usually get from here to California in 2 days, or from Texas back up here in the spring in 2 days. So that's how we transport them, and they transport quite well. But we get the same guys every year because they know not to stop during the day when it's hot, and if it is hot out, they stop and hose them down, give the bees water, because they're just like any other livestock. They need to get out and go to the bathroom out of their hive, and then they need water as well. So
You know, the bees water. So how's that done? Just they do like a spray bottle or something, or
They actually just hook up to hydrants with a long hose, and then just, the bees are still netted like in the evenings, and they just from a distance just spray, because sometimes the bees are hanging out in the boxes, and like a fire hose could knock the bees off. But yeah, you just sit back with a mister and just mist the bees under the net, and it does them wonders when it's hot out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can tell you they need water, especially get down in the fall when it gets a little dry. All my water tanks, right. They're full of bees around there. So that's definitely, I mean, it's just the way it is. And I'm allergic to bees. Remember we were talking about that, but yes, I've learned to deal with it. And they're such a vital part. I've seen that difference on my place, just a few little things I've done, because this should be the first year I'm going to really go do big projects for probably the next how many years. I'll never see the end result probably of most of those. Some of them are really long term, 20 and 30 years is when they're going to probably be at their 100%. But it starts now, don't it?
It really does. Yep.
So with I got to say, did you get to go deer hunting this year?
Sure did. Put a lot of time out there actually glassing, and like I said, I got a pretty nice muley buck with the rifle. Okay. But never did get one with the bow.
Nothing with the bow, but so you got a pretty nice muley. Well, I tell you what, we had a lot of mule deer on my place this year, and it was a fantastic season. But we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll pick that up on the other side and talk about the success.
Well, also, actually, we got a caller. So, caller, if you want to hold on, we'll get your call after the break. You're listening to I don't know what you're listening to KFYR Cafe. It's at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Daryl Lease in the KFYR Cafe. KFYR 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
KFYR 550. Jesse Kelly.
Millions and millions and millions of foreigners, they feel entitled to come here.
Come on.
The very idea that they would not be allowed to come here is offensive to them.
Come on.
Once they get here, they're not grateful to be here. Where's my next meal?
Come listen.
I got a brand new thing, new immigrant.
They don't appreciate.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
High-interest debt is one of the toughest opponents you'll face. Unless you power up with a SoFi personal loan. A SoFi personal loan could repackage your bad debt into one low fixed-rate monthly payment. It's even got super speed, since you could get the funds as soon as the same day you sign. Visit SoFi.com/win to learn more. That's SoFi.com/WIN. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Cold and flu season? Yep, it's here. Sweetie, don't use your shirt. Here, use a Kleenex tissue. You can't predict sick days, but with Kleenex lotion tissues, you can be ready. That napkin's rough. Here, this will feel better. Kleenex lotion has 3-in-1 skin-loving benefits that protect, soothe, and moisturize your skin. This cold and flu season, keep your skin feeling cared for with Kleenex lotion. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
Stop scrolling, start spinning. Chumba Casino has hundreds of social casino games. No downloads, just pure fun. Play for free and you could redeem real prizes. Ready to turn your free moments into winning moments? Head to ChumbaCasino.com today. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21+. Terms and conditions apply.
iHeart is America's #1 podcast network. Open the free iHeart app and explore podcasts like this.
No more waiting until the morning. Nightcap with Unc and Ocho is our new evening sports talk destination with NFL legend Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco, and me, Shannon Sharp. Come hang out with Unc and Ocho as we give out unfiltered tape and instant reaction to the biggest games, biggest moments right after they end.
Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
In the history of cinema, few films have been as successful as The Godfather. Francis Ford Coppola's gangster epic set a new standard not just for movies about the mafia, but for movies in general. Although, if you talk to the people who made it, The Godfather's prospects for success were far from assured. In fact, before its release, they were pretty bleak.
And they said, we're finished. This is over. It literally stopped going to work. You got to get rid of those guys. It's a disaster.
Then Leave the Gun, Take the Cannoli. My co-host Mark Seal and I strip back the varnish of movie history and talk to never-before-heard-from sources to get at what really made the process so arduous. Leave the Gun, Take the Cannoli is based on my co-host Mark's best-selling book of the same title. And on this show, we call upon his years of research to help unpack the story behind The Godfather's birth from start to finish. We sift through innumerable accounts, many of them conflicting, and try to get to the truth of what really happened. Leave the Gun, Take the Cannoli features new and archival interviews with Francis Ford Coppola.
Yes, that was a real horse's head.
Robert Evans.
It's called Living Godfather's Godfather.
James Caan.
Jimmy, he wants you to come and test. I said, test what? You got a Porsche you want me to drive around the block?
Al Ruddy.
Bob said, I got a call from these Italian guys. They want to see the movie, means there'll be a lot of trouble.
Talia Shire.
Everything was a very arduous chess game.
And many others. We still aren't entirely sure what's true and what's not, but we can promise that our 10-part series gives everyone who is involved a chance to tell their side of the story. Listen and subscribe to Leave the Gun, Take the Cannoli.
Listen on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and listen now.
iHeartRadio brings you all of it. Just open the iHeartRadio app and search football to dive in.
KFYR.
All right, welcome back, everybody. KFYR Cafe, Daryl Lease, Clayton Pederson, Guns on the 701. I am filling in, having a great time today, and God's blessings to everybody. I want to say that to everyone. We got to be thankful for every day we have, and remember, everything is God's. Everything is His, and we should give thanks to that every single day. So I hear we have a caller on the phone. Let's take that caller.
We do. Grant, you are on the cafe.
Hey, amen. I want to say, why is North Dakota just the #1 honey producer? And why does China get to keep dumping all their honey in the United States? And what does it look like if these, guys I was watching the farm report on TV, that do the rice and cotton, they're worried they're going to lose that commodity because it's going to be all shipped overseas. And you're saying, we need to have like a field grown for honey. And to me, it's like sweet clover, alfalfa, exactly what you were talking about earlier. How does that look? And I think it would be great if we did limit some of the acres and get some of these guys in the I-State, unless the honey doesn't work there like it does here. Or even in North Dakota, where you're going to have a working program with farmers and honey producers to grow certain stuff for honey production, because, if we're trying to limit some of the acres and get some price back in, say, a typical corn, soybean, wheat mix. Well, if we're putting some of that in acres in this grass and what have you for bees, that might elevate some of these other prices that are just, corn lost, 25 cents here yesterday, still going down. Mm-hmm. Because of the massive production. I'm just trying to think outside the box a little bit on some different avenues for guys that are trying to figure out a different way, and maybe the honeybees, because everyone's got a heart for the honeybees, right?
So I'll take one part of that.
We can't lose that.
Yeah, I'll take one part of that, and then I'll toss it off to Dusty. So I'm not a programs guy. I think programs should get out of farming. I ranch and farm myself, and I take nothing, and I do way better. And that's why I like it, because it disrupts the capitalistic market of it. The problem is, if you look at like corn or any other crop that's being produced, they're producing more of it because there's more payment for it attached to it. Plain and simple. It's not debatable. It's a fact. I can show anyone the numbers. On that side of it, I would never do a program. I'm doing this because I love my wildlife. I love my asset of my land. I want to make sure that land is as healthy as possible, and I don't want any government program involvement. And I'll do it my way, and I'll do it better than them. Absolutely, it'll completely be what I want. And I think you're right on the aspect. If we can decrease some of these acres that should have never been probably farmed anyway, you will see some restoration then of especially bees, especially wildlife, birds, big game, and things like that. I'm going to toss it to Dusty now.
Yeah, no, Clay and Grant, you bring up just a bunch of great points there. And really, I'm with Clay on that too, as far as I feel like we should take it, meaning North Dakota, into our own hands. Because once we start, like, soil goes back to the soil health, and if we can get more pollinators, and just it's going to basically bring a bunch of wildlife back along with just amazing for the bees and the whole ecosystem. And I think that's just a great thing. We just need to figure out how us landowners and sportsmen can unite and put something together, I feel like, locally, statewide, so we're not depending on the government. We can do this on our own, and we get this ball rolling with landowners, and it can just, this thing could go nationwide. It's just going to be a win-win for everyone, the wildlife, it's huge. And Grant asked, too, why North Dakota is the number one honey producer. A big one is because, I'll just talk about South Dakota for a second. They have a 3-mile limit law where you can't have another bee yard within 3 miles of somebody else. Or North Dakota doesn't have that, so a lot of guys from Florida, California, all over the nation flock to North Dakota in the summertime because of the alfalfa, clover, like Grant mentioned, a lot of canola, some sunflowers. There's just so many bees come to North Dakota for the summertime, and that's why North Dakota's been the number one honey producer in the nation for, I think, the last 15, 20 years. South Dakota makes a lot of honey as well. They just don't have the bee numbers. And nationwide, we produce roughly 40 million pounds of honey, 35 to 40 million pounds of honey per year in the United States, but we consume 400 to 450 million pounds a year, and that's why so much is dumped into the United States. However, we need to come up with some tariffs, and I know there's some federal bills out there about some of the honey that's brought in here is just so contaminated, and that needs to be eliminated because our market should not be as low as it is now because so much foreign honey is coming into the United States.
Wow, I had no clue, Dusty, there was that much consumed versus how much produced here. Wow, that's a big gap.
That is a big gap.
Well, I'll do my part. I'll get my stuff played. Grant, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
So did that make sense? Did that answer your questions?
Yeah, it gets to be dicey with the programs. We get it. We're not trying to farm for insurance, right? But it just seems that we can't get a proper USDA reporting, and everyone's just a glut of crop, I suppose you could say. And it's just difficult to try to figure out, revenue streams. But, I know Daryl has said on the show before, too, if we can just get 10% of our land in the United States that's in agriculture for the commodities, and I'm just, the standard wheat, right, corn, soybean, okay? That could bring price back. And I've said this before, where there's guys that are always saying, well, when we used to have livestock, well, these guys have a lot of good equity in some of these spots that they could do that. And one of the excuses I saw in a post was, well, how much infrastructure that would take and this and that. I was like, yeah, it's difficult, when you're kind of out of it. Now the cow and calf, it follows the price of gold. It's like the golden kind of cow out there, unfortunately. But with the new food table and people wanting that good that beef and that tallow, I don't know. Are we just seeing a little bit of the bottom? But we know how that can change with a huge import of Brazilian beef, which they're lining up to do. So
yeah,
and it kind of, I know you don't want to have it dumped on you, the honey from China, because that's what's really killing your guys' local market. But to a sense, that's what we're competing for on the world stage with soybean, wheat, corn. So it's a difficult thing.
Well, it is, but it was made
to get good quality stuff.
It's difficult. But it was created by the government. This started way back with the cheap food policy, going back past, back into the World War II, into that era. And I can tell you right now, government fixes nothing. Private sector will always do it better, more efficient, and take care of it. But at this point, things have gotten so bad that it's going to take a lot of work And it's going to take time in little steps to fix it. That's just the way it's going to end up being. So we got to go to a break. We'll go ahead and do that. And I think David Feddick is getting close probably to be joining us as well. But Grant, thanks for the call. Oh. All right, we will be right back with another segment of the KFYR Cafe right here on 550 AM.
Fox News, I'm Tom Graham. President Trump says he has canceled all meetings with the Iranian regime. He also had a message for anti-government protesters.
To all Iranian patriots, keep protesting. Take over your institutions if possible.
Trump said on social media those who killed demonstrators will pay a big price. Leaders in the nation's most populous county are considering making it an ice-free zone.
The proposed ordinance would create, quote, ice-free zones in Los Angeles County, preventing federal immigration agents from using county-owned property, including parks, as operation bases, staging, or processing areas. It would also require clear signage stating the property is owned and controlled by the county and cannot be used for what it describes as unauthorized civil law enforcement, including immigration enforcement.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. America is listening to Fox News.
Ruffling feathers in 5 states and 2 or 3 Canadian provinces. Daryl Leese in the KFYR Cafe.
There is an affordability crisis.
A crisis?
It is a crisis.
Not with $1,000 in your hand.
Put $1,000 back in your pocket.
Win $1,000.
It's always a lot of fun when you win.
Brought to you by Birds Fitness.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the 4 walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Pistachio is now back at Starbucks. Try our new creamy and rich pistachio cortado, finished with salted brown butter topping. Or the iced Dubai chocolate matcha, topped with silky chocolate cream cold foam. Available for a limited time, only at Starbucks.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. This spring, you can share your own observations about nature with scientists and play a critical role in scientific discovery by adding to their data collection. Discover more about citizen science programs such as monitoring weather, observing plants and animals, and more. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Find your iHeartRadio everywhere. There are hundreds of ways to experience iHeartRadio at home and on the go, beyond the iPhone and Android app and at iHeartRadio.com. Here's another way to connect to iHeartRadio. Vizio TVs. iHeartRadio is coming into your living room on your Vizio TV. Check your TV remote for the iHeartRadio button for one-click access, or visit the Vizio SmartCast app store and make sure you log in with your iHeartRadio account so all your favorites are there and ready for you instantly. All your music, radio stations, and favorite podcasts available for you on the biggest screen in your home. iHeartRadio and Vizio. Check it out for free now. iHeartRadio. Anywhere you want to listen, iHeartRadio is there.
It's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Tonight, cloudy, breezy, a snow shower, low 23. Clouds and sunshine around for Wednesday, the high 33. Tomorrow night, cloudy, low 28. Windy on Thursday. Winds can gust past 45 miles per hour at times. A bit of snow up to an inch can accumulate with a high Thursday 42. And clouds and sunshine colder Friday with a high just 18. Download the AccuWeather app today. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Andy Robb.
Right now, it's 41. KFYR.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, right here on KFYR 550. This is the Big Stick, everybody. This is the biggest stick in the Midwest. So if you ain't tuned in, you are missing out. And we're on the K-Fire Cafe with Daryl Leese. I am your host, Clayton Pederson, filling in from Guns in the 701 Network. So we have Dusty still on the air, and we're going to have David on the air. But, Dusty, I want you to kind of give me a quick preview of how the hunting season went.
Central part of the state, where we're at here, we have thankfully a great number of mule deer because our whitetails in 2021 got decimated from EHD. Like 98% of them got wiped out. Yeah, we've talked about this a few times, Clay, on your show. And, 4 or 5 years later, we're right where the deer winter, and I can't say it's any better than it was in 2021. Yeah, there's a few real nice bucks showing up that survived the last couple of years, but as far as population goes, it's slow going. And we have plenty of habitat in this part of North Dakota, and it's just slow going, actually. Yeah. We got a lot of mule deer, but whitetails are slow. So, and
that's the same on my place. I was predominantly whitetail, and EHD rolled through there twice, that first time, and in a second round, not as bad. But the mule deer moved in, and I like hunting mule deer, but I'd sure like them. My whitetails are starting to come back. I've seen a couple decent ones and some does. So, they're there. They're making their way back, and I'm guessing that this easy winter is going to help that quite a bit. And as far as habitat goes, at least in my area, we're good, but we don't farm fence line to fence line and tear up everything we own. At least I don't. I don't allow it on my place. So I've got habitat, and I even put away stuff for that, and that's why, because I want to see my population of wildlife do better. It's just, I like to hunt. My boys enjoy it, so I try to make the best of what we have, and it seems like it's working. I know you kind of do the same thing.
Absolutely, and obviously it is working, Clay, because you had a tremendous hunting season.
Oh man, the bucks that were taken off my place. Some of them, I knew some of them were there, but those guys that I had down there that were hunting, They found ones I didn't even know existed. So, hey, hats off to them.
No kidding. That's great.
And they were all friends and family. One gentleman, Kelly, that was a blind stop years ago. And we let him on the place because he seemed like a really good guy as both his boys come down now. And, they all filled their tags and had successful hunts. And we've become very good friends. In fact, I was out there last weekend ice fishing. That's how that's supposed to work. You build them relationships with landowners, and who knows what kind of doors open up for you.
That's exactly right, and we can't stress that enough because we know that there's some things going around about sportsmen complaining about access, and we just purchased land a couple years ago, Clay, just a quarter, but I've got made unreal relationships with so many great landowners around here. Just got thousands of acres because of it. So,
absolutely.
Nobody really needs to come crying if they can't have access, because you make some relationships, make the time, spend the time with landowners, you're going to find a place to hunt.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Don't come down, and we've said this like beating a dead horse on here. Is we've always said, don't just stop and show up and say, hey, can I hunt? There's probably, like on my place, there's already people there. I knew kind of what my herd numbers were, and because I'm there every single day, well, not every day, but most of the time, and I'm out there, so I see what's out there, and I'm only going to allow so many people and so many deer to be taken. It's just that simple, and you might be the nicest guy in the world, but if I already got people coming, sorry, I don't have room for another person with 1 or 2 or even 3 tags. That's just the reality of it.
Right, and another reality is that North Dakota is turning red. More land is getting locked up all the time, and it's going to continue to happen until we get our wildlife turned around. We got to take it into our own hands. So the reality of it is you're going to have to build relationships to find a place to hunt, and that is a good thing.
Yep,
it's not a bad thing.
That's a great thing. So with that, because I want to get into the CWD thing, because, we have to. and I want David to join us. So David Feddick, he's with 1760 Sports LLC right here in Mandan, North Dakota. Good friend of mine. David, how you doing?
Oh, it's another beautiful day.
I know. You're up in Williston, right?
a little windy. Yep, I'm up in the Williston Basin today.
All right.
And boy, I tell you what, I did catch a whole lot of the show earlier. Phone signal wasn't too friendly for this. But I got to say, I think, Eric, you guys were hitting it on the head. Anywhere that is not overcropped, the ground's not tilled, there's grass, there's, shrubbery. Boy, do I see deer along the highway today.
Yeah. I mean, there's deer out there. Numbers are down, there's no doubt about it. But in areas, deer are plentiful. Like, I'm not kidding. Everybody come asking, because I'm pretty particular and to how I manage things. But we have a lot of deer on my place. My neighbor has a lot of deer on his place, and so does the other one. But we've kind of done that all together, and we still are making a living. We're still using the place. They are fully functional operations. I have cow-calf primarily, and some of the other guys farm. So it can be done. And the best thing about it, no programs and no participation in government programs, and I'm proud of that. And I don't want any either. So, yeah, go ahead, Dusty. Oh, we lose you?
No, nope, I'm still on here, Clay. So, no, you just, it's all the proof that you're talking about. You build it and they will come. You got the deer, you got the birds, because you're building a paradise and you're doing all on your own. So kudos to you.
Well, yeah, and that's, I feel that I know. I mean, I live there. I've been there for a long time, and I can see what's going on around me. It's boots on the ground type stuff, and you kind of can see what's missing and what's needed. So let's talk CWD. I know, David, you're pretty familiar with that. So, being you're in a different area, David, what do you see as far as what you think you might be seeing when it comes to CWD, and if it's even doing anything?
Honestly, I don't think it's doing anything at all. I think. Well, I gotta watch how I say this. We're on the radio.
No, you're good.
I think it's smoke and mirrors. I think, honestly, to an extent, we should figure out a proper way to conserve our animals. We gotta take care of what we have. At the same time, I feel like there's a bit of a smoke show going on here. I mean, maybe some of us should walk around with a handful of quarters in our back pocket, I feel like we're being played.
I like that one. I don't disagree with you, and I can tell you, looking at the mule deer numbers, I'm in a CWD, quote, unit, and I have yet to ever see a deer that's even had it. I thought I had one when I sent that in. Privately, by the way, it can be done. I found nothing. The results come back negative. That deer died of other things. It was not from that, according to that particular test. And my numbers have exploded. Again, the whitetails have kind of died off. They're coming back, but where it seemed like when the whitetails were no longer there, the mule deer moved in. That's just what I've seen happening there, because I've had very few mule deer in the past tell the die off of VHD. And so, Dusty, I mean, what are you kind of on the same track there? Are you?
Absolutely. I like David's word, smoke and mirrors, because let's just put this in perspective. Across the nation, not just North Dakota, you have to kill healthy deer or test healthy harvested deer, or like the private industry, you have to test 100% of the healthy deer inside a fence or roadkill deer to find supposedly a disease. I mean, that says everything right there, that this is so... The CWD narrative is just made up. Let's just go back to the test. That's what this entire thing is based on, is a test pushing the narrative. And we learned a lot from the 2020 thing when it comes to tests.
Oh, yeah.
While the CWD test has been around for 20, 30 years, wouldn't the first thing be, okay, we got a positive detection. Let's send that in to an electron microscope, what's being tested.
Right.
Because they say it's a prion disease, like we've talked many times, and they can't prove it. It's literally a hypothesis. In the agency's own document, it's still the prion hypothesis. It would not be a hypothesis after 60 years if something truly existed.
Well,
say that it causes a disease.
I have never seen an actual prion, and when I went to a couple of those regional meetings, let's just say I think my name is kind of known, probably as yours is. They get a little hostile about it. And they still didn't produce it. They still never answered the question. Am I wrong? Are they lying? I mean, does a picture of the prion exist? Because even Ted Nugent says it's all bunk.
Absolutely does not exist. I mean, we've been just across the nation even on the human side, because they say it's like CJD, Creutzfeldt-Jakob's disease. So we reached out to Case Western asking for a picture of a prion, and they sent us the 2021 research paper that was actually full of graphics. Didn't even have any slides in it. So we went to the North Dakota Game and Fish, and we wanted proof. And they sent us the same 2021 research paper, but our Game and Fish, actually, theirs had an additional paper that had slides in it. And if you read the 4 slides under the microscope, it was only 81,000 magnification. Well, it said fibrils. Well, fibrils are just connective tissue. They could be parts of the blood vessels. You have to cut into these to figure out what it is, because an electron microscope of 126,000 magnification, you see the double helix, which is the DNA strands, DNA molecules, but has never seen a prion. And prions are supposedly bigger than the double helix. So absolutely it does not. The prion does not exist.
Well, and when I was looking at some of that stuff, it reminded me of when I was fighting for gun rights, the Second Amendment thing. It's the same MO from groups, whether it's government, whether it's private, whether it's NGOs. They get somebody out there to publish something, right? They publish it. Oh, that makes it official, right? And then they just a circle of it. This one takes this and adopts it, and then when you go ask another one, they sit and go, well, this place is doing that, so that must be true. And it's just a back and forth of, oh, we said it was true because we hired this place to say it was true, and then they started circulating documents to make sure that it was the truth, whether it was or not. I mean, that's just, I know that's a layman's summary, but I'm telling you, I used to see that every time I'd be fighting for Second Amendment rights, because you'd get anti-gun groups that would do the same thing. And then you'd even get, honestly, you'd get things like the CDC that said it was a disease. Can you imagine that? Imagine something being called a disease to permeate an ideology. Imagine that, to get a hypothesis or a conclusion they're looking for. It seems like the same pattern to me. Am I wrong?
Absolutely not. See, the CWD is just another topic that's just being pushed nationwide. It's majority of it is super similar, the same playbook. And you know what? We are guilty of it because we've just kind of been following along the last 20 years too, right? And didn't research, we got really complacent. We're guilty of that because, I mean, they've been doing this behind us. And when you start digging into this, the same people are involved nationwide. Like, even our own Game and Fish director sits at these meetings, and the AFWA, Association of Fish and Wildlife, there's the Midwestern AFWA with like the Missouri directors and they're just pushing the same narrative in every state because they're following the same playbook.
Yeah.
And like you said, the NGOs, I mean, they're all engaged in this, and that's where us standing up and the people just getting involved is just really shutting down the narrative. And it's so great to see people standing up, Clay.
Yeah, it is. And that's how I got involved knowing you, is I saw it and I was like, oh, I got to talk to this guy. So, hey, David, hold on. And Dusty, we're going to take another quick break here on the KFYR Cafe, 550 AM radio. I am your guest host, Clayton Pederson with Guns in the 701. And we'll continue this in the last segment right after the break.
Yes, he's the Racing Pigs guy, Daryl Leese, in the KFYR Cafe.
KFYR 550.
Coming up on the Wednesday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, there's an investigation going on of Fed Chair Jerome Powell. What does this mean? Also, what about Trump when he talks about the possibility of lowering the credit card interest rate to 10%? Affordability is the name of the game, my friends. We'll get into that, plus the ongoing...
No matter what language you speak, when you ask for mental health care,
soins de santé mentale,
atención de salud mental,
心理健康照护,
we're here to help make sure you get it. With a network of 346,000 providers who together speak over 150 languages, we'll find the right one for you. And we have 24/7 support, plus personal care navigators who are with you at every step of your health journey. That's better by design. Learn more at Cigna.com/better.
When it comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
The free iHeartRadio app is #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Discover a new podcast from our library of over 350,000 titles. Here's an iHeartRadio podcast preview.
Yeah, the devil's come to take me.
Can I help you? Yes, I need to have an officer call me. My daughter is missing.
On July 24th, 2016, 23-year-old Kaylee Sawyer vanished from her small Oregon town.
It had to be something reasonable. It didn't even cross my mind that there was anything other than just something explainable.
But the story of who killed her and how takes wild twists and turns.
Like, I killed a woman.
A second woman kidnapped.
And then that's when he just started basically yelling at me to start driving. He's like, I need to get out of here. And he's like, I just killed somebody.
A dramatic carjacking.
I yelled for help, and he said, I'll shoot you, and I yelled for help again, and he shot me.
A high-speed police chase and a murderer's disturbing urge to kill.
Do you think he would have become a serial killer had he had the chance?
I think so.
It just baffles me that somebody can just take someone's life.
The most evil person you've ever met.
Why us? How can it be us?
Urge to Kill, a new podcast from KGW News and Vault Studios.
Listen and follow this podcast for free on the iHeartRadio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.
Your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
KFYR.
Welcome back, everybody, to the KFYR Cafe. Daryl Lease. Of course, I'm not Daryl today, but maybe I'm better. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, you are.
All right.
Between you and me, yeah. We'll.
Now I'm in trouble. All right, I'm Clayton Pederson.
Hey, you're in trouble. I'm the one that's got to work with him 5 days.
That's right.
Work for him 5 days a week. So.
Oh, I know he's having fun out there. As far as they were working with some North Dakota Farm Bureau stuff, I know he's not the president anymore, but he's still very involved and cares about the organization. So, Clayton Pederson, Guns and 7-1. All right. Before we left, we were talking CWD, and I want David to jump in here. And what do you think? What do you think is maybe our solutions then to this problem? Because I think we all agree that we think there's a lot of smoke being blown. You know what I mean? And so, what's the next step, guys?
I honestly think the next general step is, I think the Game and Fish needs to come to reality that what they're doing is wrong. I think what needs to come out of it is, like yourself, you've said it over and over and over again. I mean, you're dang near a broken record on the subject. But what's basically being said, what needs to be done is landowners need to take more responsibility and realize that, like you said, every square inch of the property doesn't have to be profitable in the form of soil conservation, animal conservation.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I'm practicing that myself. And Dusty, what's your thoughts on that?
David brings up a great point too. Just the Game and Fish just need to realize and just let it go, and let's unite again, like we've talked about many times. Not just the landowners, but the sportsmen too could be a huge help. And we've seen it, Clay. You've seen it on your property. We've seen it on ours. I mean, we've spent thousands on our own property of our own money, and we're glad for it.
Right.
And planting 4,000 trees with the switchgrass just in a couple of years, just wildlife everywhere. We're not asking for like every square inch of property either. You know, it's just maybe some corners that nobody's planting, or just some areas that's just grass. Hey, let's put in some pollinators or switchgrass or plant some trees. We can take it into our own hands and turn this thing around.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I mean, I'm actually putting some switchgrass in too. I've got a couple of quarters where I'm doing a lot of this work on, and I'm telling you, when we get done with that, I'm going to enjoy it for a little bit, but I can tell you it's even going to be better probably long after I'm gone, because that's what we're doing there. This isn't for 5 years. This isn't for 10. This is to be there for 40, 50 years. I want it to be there. And I know at my age, if I'm here at 40 years, well, that makes me 91. So maybe I'll be here, but I doubt it. But my sons and maybe my grandkids are going to love it. That's what I'm looking at. So
and that's what we keep looking at. We're looking down the road, in the future for our kids and grandkids.
Right. So I do got to mention this. So David's going to be joining us on the Guns and 701 Network, and he is going to have a show called 701 Marksman. We're looking at trying to launch his first episode here towards the end of the month, possibly the beginning of February. So do you want to give a little plug to your show?
Yeah, why not? If anybody that's been following the 7-1 Guns and 7-1,
network,
the show.
Thanks, Todd.
The crowd in general.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on the show a few times. I am a competitive shooter myself, and I'd like to bring attention to the shooting sport. A lot of people, when you talk to them about shooting, we always talk about the gun range, going out to the range, getting familiar with their firearms, safe practices, getting to be a better marksman so you can execute the proper hunt. And more or less, in those conversations, it doesn't matter what gun shop you go to, what store you go to, your big ones, your small ones, your online stores, there's nowhere really showing you that there's a competitive world in North Dakota, Montana, the north, up in Canada, provincials up there.
Right.
Every state has it. And we are very gifted in North Dakota to have a 1,000-yard range. We have a phenomenal competition facility right here in central North Dakota. There's so many states that do not have that. There's people that drive 300-400 miles just to compete, which is insane to me because I don't do that. I should. It'd be awesome to try it, see some new places, new faces, but I don't.
Plug the name. If Bismarck Mandan Pistol and Rifle Association, right?
Yep. BMRPA.org.
There you go.
And that's the fastest way to that group.
Absolutely. And you're right. They have a phenomenal range. I used to know some of them there when I was with the NRA, and I know you're going to have a few of them on your show in upcoming episodes. I think this is great. But you are absolutely right. North Dakota probably has some of the most, advanced ranges, indoor and out, for competitive shooting, and not just long range and not just pistol. Also in their trap shooting and sporting clays facilities. You go to Minot, I don't know if anyone's been up there and seen that trap shooting range, and they used to host some pretty big trap shooting competitions. And this is all over North Dakota. So, yeah, we live in the best state as far as having access to ranges, in my opinion.
We absolutely do. The greatest part of it is there's stuff, like you watch the Outdoors channel, you see the shooting shows, the gun shows are on the Outdoors channel. That's fantastic. But what we do see here is, you name it. We have mounted shooting, we have pistol shooting, we have the run and gun. We have everything from ages of 10 years old all the way up to the grave.
Yep.
You got guys shooting and everything. It's a fantastic state, and it's absolutely worth looking into.
Well, absolutely. Thanks, David. Dusty, I know I'm going to plug you. We're going to be on not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. You're going to be joining me again on Guns in the 701, and that'll be at 7 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Central. And I'm looking forward to the conversation, Dusty.
Yeah. Can't wait, Clay. Super excited about it. It's always great to be on with you guys. So I just want to thank everybody out there for always listening to and all the support.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks for joining us today. This Wednesday, coming up at that same time slot on Wednesday, Alex Balaz is going to be joining me. He is a United States congressional candidate right here in North Dakota in the primary, so you don't want to miss that. And then Dusty will be the following week, and then I'm going to have Michael Bell at Dakota Mornings. Michael's had me on. We have a great rapport here. We're going to have Michael on the following Wednesday. So, again, thanks, everybody, for tuning in to Daryl's program. Go check it out here on the iHeart.com or get the app. You can catch everything. Don't forget to visit our brand new website, gunsinthe701.com. Completely redesigned. I think you're going to love it. You can find all of our great hosts right there. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see everybody next time. Thank you.
A complete look, or shall we say, listen to the news, weather, and events of the day. Catch the evening report from KFYR TV, weeknights at 6 on KFYR 550, 99.7 FM, and iHeartRadio. KFYR Bismarck.
K259AF Bismarck.
An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed.
On his mind. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump speaking to reporters a short time ago, saying he has to get